hmm These guarantees of fundamental fairness, justice, and liberty. Yeah. Now, the interpretation, controversial. Yep. It is not a good definition when it causes controversy. Yes. It fails at explaining the guarantee of fundamental fairness, justice, and peace, or of liberty. Yeah. Now, it's nice that this interpretation has been proven to be controversial. Yeah. But a lot of judges, instead of legislatures, yeah, they'd say no. Due process is controversial. There are no absolutes in any laws of the United States. In my opinion, yes, my discretion, my interpretation of the RCWs of the state of Washington, let's go ahead. We can issue a protection order on July 8th of 2011 knowing, yes, that the respondent is not a resident of the state of Washington. Yeah. Knowing that there was no accusation of domestic violence or child abuse while I was a resident of the state of Washington. We can issue a protection order after 10 years of marriage, knowing, yes, that I have no availability of being able to respond, yes, to any court hearings, and you can issue a 1 year permanent protection order, yes, without any proof of service, other than you issued it and then you served me on Guam. Now, while on Guam, yeah, I was on probation. Pooch. There was no way for me to leave the island. That's right. There was no possible thing that I could do. Yes, because you as a court decided that in your interpretation of domestic violence laws, you had protected the due process rights of the respondent when not being a resident of the state of Washington. Now, I would say, yes, knowing that I couldn't leave, right, knowing that I was on probation, yes, knowing that I was going through diversion, right, knowing the requirements of Guamanian law, that in your interpretation of the controversial RCWs of the state of Washington necessary to issue a permanent protection order, yes, you had no obligation to make sure that the respondent had the right to appear in court, yes, and explain the arrest that took place while we lived on Guam. hmm You didn't need me to tell you what happened. You had an arrest, yes. You had documentation that had been arrested. Yeah. Now, I went to jail not because of the arrest necessarily. Yes. See, I think that if I'd had some money, I could have bailed out. Yes. And there probably was some sort of bail attached to my incarceration. Yes. The concern of the court at that time was that we were living in a hotel. Yes. And I was homeless. Oh. See, if I had had a residence on Guam. Yes. If I had a place to call my own while we were residing on Guam. And I could have explained to the court because when being arraigned, I explained to the court, I was very honest. Yeah. I actually have no place to live. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. But when you take into consideration the due process rights necessary to jail a person, it's as if being a homeless person, you were able to keep me in jail for 10 days, right, because I did not have a permanent residence. That's right. See, the Guamanian judicial system required that they had to be able to contact me so that I could stand trial. That's right. And when you think about the due process necessary to be able to issue a protection order, let's go ahead. Because of my homelessness, my being indigent, yes, my poverty, poop, I was obligated to stay in a Guamanian jail for 10 days without any criminal record. Let's go ahead. Because I had no place to call home. Now, the due process obligation, yes, is that as soon as Heidi moved to Clallam County, within 5 days of moving to 1023 Kitchen Dick Road, yeah, you had issued a protection order where you abused my poverty of being homeless. Yes. See, it's possible. Yes, yes, yes. If I had a rented residence, that's right. And if I had had some money, yes, I could have bailed out the first fucking